I heard a woman interview a man about the number of injuries at a major warehouse company. According to the man, the company's injury rate was at least double the industry average. The woman then asked why OSHA wasn't being sent in as a safety enforcer to do something about it. Now, since I come from the construction industry where worker safety is a huge topic, I read the expression on the man's face as he tried to politely explain to her, "That's really not what OSHA does. That's not the way it works." This interview reminded me of one of the greatest weaknesses women have. We don't understand how things really work. And this puts us at a huge disadvantage in both the workplace and society. Because if we don't understand how things really work, then we can't be someone who gets things done. And we won't be someone who gets promoted. We all know that growing up, boys and girls have traditionally been treated differently. Boy toys are physical, action-oriented, and they help condition boys to get things done. Whereas girls are still too heavily conditioned to think we're about making things nice and pretty. In the old days, teenage boys were taught how all the individual components of a car worked and how to fix them so they could keep their car running, be self-sufficient, and go out into the world and do things. Back then, when everything was mechanical, dirty, and required physical strength, most women were left out of these experiences, making us both dependent on men and vulnerable to being taken advantage of. As time passed, dirty mechanics have been replaced by clean electronics, and there's very few jobs left that rely on physical strength. But understanding how things work has remained the realm of men. This has put women at a disadvantage in the workplace, even though we enter the workforce with the same education and training as our male colleagues. Many of our first jobs are technical in nature, where we're expected to apply our knowledge to completing our tasks. But we soon learn that our knowledge isn't enough, because things seldom go according to what we were taught. Men who grew up learning how things work can deal with the problems because they're experienced at jury-rigging things and finding solutions to get things done. However, too many women don't have these skills, and we're conditioned to take problems to our managers to fix. But our managers expect us to fix the problems ourselves. Consequently, women get discouraged and we leave the best jobs, reducing our promotion opportunities. We also reinforce the old stereotypes and the belief that women aren't capable of having the technical expertise men value so much. For me, the way men value technical expertise hit home while I was working for a small mom and pop company. Mom hired me, and Pop, he wasn't too happy about it. He argued that Ralph, who was in the position before me, could tell him how far apart 2x12 beams spanning 20 feet had to be spaced, and I couldn't. He's right, I couldn't do that. But that's not why Mom hired me. She hired me because Ralph, in spite of all of his great structural expertise, was losing money on all of his projects. And within a few weeks, I proved that I knew how to make them lots of money. Poor Pop, he was confused. He couldn't understand how I could be making so much money when I didn't have Ralph's structural expertise, because to him, that's not how things work. As a woman working in a male career field, I decided early on not to be a Ralph, because guys like Ralph were a dime a dozen. So I found an opportunity following a different path, one that allowed me to stand out as a woman. As women, we have to understand that our blue zone workplaces are going to treat us just like a man. We'll be assigned to a functional area, and just like Ralph, we're expected to spend our career growing our expertise in that one area. Our workplaces work like this because they believe that if each area is full of technical experts, then it will have outstanding performance. But many men don't understand. That's not how things work. In order to have outstanding performance, the most important expertise is to know how all the different functional areas have to work together as a whole. We assume the manager, who oversees several areas, has this broad expertise. But all too often he came up through just one area, so he never developed it. This omission creates an opportunity perfectly tailored to women because we like to think broader, create teamwork, and integrate different kinds of activities. It also gives us career choices. We can spend our career in one functional area, growing our expertise. But if we have our eye on a senior management position, then we can't stay in just one functional area. We need to be cross-trained. Cross-training allows us to develop expertise in our area, but we also spend time working in other functional areas, learning how they work. The benefit is that we learn how all the pieces and parts of our workplace have to come together so our workplace as a whole functions smoothly. With this kind of expertise, we make ourselves a superior candidate for promotion, but we also ensure that as a manager, we're both effective and respected. This is Dot Callahan asking you to help me turn the woman in the room into the women in the room. Sign up for my newsletter, subscribe to my YouTube channel, or find the Woman in the Room on Facebook. It's up to you. Just keep watching and sharing my videos to get advice from a woman who's been there, dealt with that, and knows what works.